Shalom, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and mercy to the hopefully elect, the 144,000 men that are doing this work in sincerity and in truth across the four corners of the earth. And much love to the 1/3 and the innumerable multitude of you believers out there. To you all, I say Shalom. I'm the brother Yeshaya, and I pray, Lord willing, that this lesson is edifying through the Spirit. All right, and it's 10:44. Call out Bashim Shai. So I had this article that says something, and the Lord put on my spirit to do a lesson on it. Lord willing, I can grab it real quick. Let's see here. It says the name of it is from PC World. And this is basic knowledge really, but at the end of the day, it's not basic knowledge to the world. Excuse me. It says NASA. Let me see. It says NASA calculated when life will end on Earth. It doesn't look good. All right. So it says, and this is May 12th, 2025. So about a week ago. It says, and today's the 19th. It says, in collaboration with a Japanese university, NASA researchers use supercomputers to predict when life will no longer be possible on Earth. All right, so they said use supercomputers. It says use supercomputers to model and determine how long life will remain possible on Earth. The calculated end date for all life on Earth is still a long ways off, but the researchers warn that the potential end date for humans is sooner than we previously thought. According to the study, the end of potential for all life on Earth hinges on the sun's lifespan. In the coming billions of years, our sun will continue to grow and heat up Earth to such an extent that life will no longer be possible. Researchers estimate that this will happen in the year, and I don't know what this number is. Let's see. 100,000. It's like a billion years, I think so. So it has it's a billion 2021 years. In the year 1 billion 2021. Whoever knows what that means, because Esau just be making up time too. Like, the earth hasn't been around for millions and billions of years. But they have it said it happened in the year 1 billion. Like using a supercomputer to create that nonsense. All right. And I'm going to give you some biblical facts that this is incorrect. But it says, when Earth's surface conditions become so extreme that life's impossible for even the most resistant organisms. See, and just shows a complete disbelief in the Bible. It shows you that scientists don't know anything. It shows you that these people don't have any faith. These people don't read. You got the most ancient book in the world giving you the download on what will happen in Earth, but they don't read it, right? Because they feel like they got to prove things wrong. And it was ironically, one time a scientist broke down how everything proves the existence of God, which was crazy. You see what I'm saying? So all of this time, the Earth is just, the sun is just out there chilling, and it hasn't gotten to the point where it's just burned civilization. And the reason why things are so hot right now is because this is how the Lord wants it to be. It's not because it's getting closer to the point where it's going to destroy the earth. Think about it. The sun is exactly a far enough temperature where you can be warmed by it, but you won't die. All right, you won't get scorched. Okay, yes, there are harder parts on the earth than others, but people can die from heat things, but there ain't no point where it's going to destroy the most resistant organisms. This is what Esau tells you. Everything that this man teaches you is a lie. And I believe we went into NASA. I can't remember if brothers took that back. Well, NASA technically means to deceive. I think if you go into the scriptures, but I don't know if we said or we changed something about that. But nonetheless, that's what they do. They deceive people, man. All right. So I got this scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 1:4. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 3. 2. It says, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. And this is vanity. This article that they decided to put together is empty. It's not true. It's a lie. It said, "What profit hath a man? What profit hath a man of all his labor, which he taketh under the sun?" You see that? The labor that a man takes under the sun. It says, and it really, this next verse is the only verse you really got to get out here, man. All right, these next two verses. But at the end of the day, we're gonna bring out more edification to drill the point home. It says, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." You see that? So that verse alone lets you know that they are completely wrong about this. A supercomputer cannot predict the end, because God, the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, he created the earth. He said he created the sun. The scriptures say they worship the creature more than the creator. So you think the sun is automatically just gonna get? No, the Lord has put this thing in perfect position to where it's no harm going to come to the earth from the sun's positioning. Okay, the earth abideth forever. That means the earth is never going to die. The earth is never going to burn. What's not going to abide forever is America. America's going to burn soon. All right, and that's by biblical prophecy from thermonuclear destruction, not from the sun. Well, the SON. Call out your Bashem. But it says, "The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose." So, and the sun follows the commandment of the Most High. It listens because it's in order. So he said it rises and it goes down and hastes to his place where he rose. So he got exactly where it's positioned to where he wants it to go. All right, it's not doing its own thing and getting close to the earth and gonna burn you. In that movie Chronicles of Riddick, they had that one planet with, it had like 3 suns, or it was so close to it. So basically, you had to time it out. If you didn't beat the sun, you would be burnt up, literally, and everything was scorched on the planet. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be like that for the earth. It's not. The earth was a delicate creation of the Lord, right? He says the earth is my footstool. This is he loves the earth, man. He said he made the earth for the children of Israel's sake, right? So it's like something that you designed specifically for your son, that is going to be beneficial for him for the rest of his life. You're not going to destroy it. You're going to make sure that he has it. Now, it's been tainted by the wicked for now, but at the end of the day, we're going to get it back and we're going to rule it in righteousness. This is Isaiah 45:18. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh that created the heavens, the Most High himself that formed the earth and made it, he hath established it. He created it not in vain." You see that? So that means he didn't create it to be destroyed. He said created it not in vain. So he didn't do it with a purpose. I always use the sandcastle theory. You make sandcastles in vain. Are they fun? Yeah. Are they cool? Yeah. Are they nice to make? Yeah. Do they look nice? Yeah. But that one of two things is going to happen. Well, 3 things can happen to that sandcastle. Either one, before you leave, you're going to kick that damn sandcastle down. 2, the waters is going to wash it away. 3, the wind is going to destroy it and it's going to slowly disintegrate again. So a sandcastle is a perfect example of something made in vain. He didn't make the earth like that. He had a complete, justifiable, beautiful reason why he made the earth, and he created it for us to, and we're going to be immortal and we're going to live forever. And Zion and Jerusalem is going to be based here. So it's never going to be destroyed. He says he hath established it and he created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord Yahweh and there is none else. He said, I'm the only God, the only creator, the only supreme being. Right? He said, I made it for people to live in. So why would he make it to the point where there's no organisms that will be able to dwell in this place? That's just foolishness. But these people have a lack of faith. It says, what about for human life? For us humans, things will become grave even earlier. As the sun gets hot, this is back to the article. As the sun gets hotter and hotter, the Earth's atmosphere will change considerably. This will lead to falling oxygen content, poor air quality, and a sharp rise in temperatures. These changes were predicted using a detailed model for climate change and solar radiation. You see, but they don't anticipate Yahweh Shai setting all this aright too. Okay? And then the thing, check this out too. well, what are you people gonna do? Because you don't got a chance of salvation. Y'all ain't about to make it to another planet. That's reserved for the Israelites. All right, y'all ain't been to the moon. Y'all ain't been to Mars. All right, and it's not about to happen either. All right. This is Matthew. I'll get Mark 13. This is Mark 13 and verse 20. It says, "And except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect saves whom he had chosen, he has shortened the days." So the days are getting shortened. Time is getting shorter so we can get delivered, especially when Jacob's trouble happened. But it says no flesh will be saved, except that the Lord shouldn't have shortened those days. So if it wasn't for the Lord, he would have had it to where flesh, no flesh would be saved, because Esau, Edom, the so-called white nation, as they're doing mentally, but they would have physically killed everything. So if anything would have killed the world, it wouldn't have been the sun. It would have been the Edomites, the nation of Edom, would have been the ones to do it. But through the mercy of the Lord, we're going to extinguish the Edomites through the Spirit, and all of the Israelites are going to reign. So you ain't got to worry about the earth being destroyed. All right? It says, "And then if any man shall say to you, Lo, here is a Mashiach, the anointed, or Lo, he is there, believe it not. For false anointed ones and false prophets shall arise, and shall show signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even the elect." And that's what they would try to do to us, if it were possible. But that's a false sign. And they're being false prophets, man. Just like these Roman Catholic church, the churches, just like NASA, just like your government, they're all false prophets. That's a false prophecy, because it's not going to burn. It's not going to be burnt by the sun. Okay? That's just some made up nonsense, man. Okay? They want you to believe that it's gonna burn, so that you're doing this to ruin it. Man, Esau is the one who's gonna burn, man. All right. Verse 30 says, "Verily I say unto you that this generation shall not pass till all these things be done. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away." So that's talking about a rulership. That's not talking about the physical earth, the Lord. So, because if that's the case, that means heaven's going to be destroyed too? No. And there are three heavens, but he's talking about the rulership of Esau, Edom. That's going to pass away, but the words are not going to pass away. And his word earlier said that the earth abideth forever, and the Lord does not contradict himself. Right? But it says, well, I have a point on that. But then it says, I got First Chronicles 16 and 30. "Fear before him all the earth, the world also shall be stable, that it be not moved." So is it going to shake to and fro like a drunkard when the missiles hit? Yeah. But it's not going to be moved to the point where it just disintegrates all human and animal life. That's an unrighteous God. Esau is trying to create a hell type situation where you just burn forever, man. All right? That's unrighteous, man. Esau is a devil. Okay? Let's see here. This is Psalms 24 and 1. It says, "A psalm of David, the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein." So this earth belongs to the Most High, Yahweh, man. All right? And the fullness thereof. So everything about it belongs to him. Even the things that are around it, the sun and the moon, those belong to him as well. The world and all they did dwell therein. So even the people belong to him. But they disobedient right now. All right? They disobedient. But yeah, that's why it says this, Psalms 37 and 11. "But the meek shall inherit the earth," the Israelites, predominantly starting with the elect, "and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace." So how, after all these prophecies come to pass, how are the Israelites, the meek, are going to have an abundance of peace with a world that's getting hotter and hotter and slowly disintegrating and slowly burning? That's not going to happen, right? But scientists won't come out and say, yeah, this is right. Okay? And Psalms 37 and 22 says, "For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth, and they that be cursed of him shall be cut off." So, yeah, the wicked going to be cut off. The Edomites going to be cut off. But he says, "Those that are blessed of him shall inherit the earth." So you think the Lord going to give his blessed ones a planet that's already dying? That's what they like to have on fucking, what's that damn movie? On Interstellar. They all they had the planets that were dying. You got dying planets, You know, the Lord ain't gonna give his elect. He ain't gonna give the nation of Israel the people he love more than anybody else. So, so the so-called white nation and these heathen got to rule on earth, and nothing was wrong. Everything was habitable. But now that we get it back, it's just gonna burn. Man, you out of your mind, man. This is what the lies that they feed people, and they'll tell children this in school. You know, they'll tell children this in school, and this will be the mentality that people have with their life. That eventually one day this all gonna burn. This is and that's just not true. This is Psalms 47:2. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. So if this is his earth and he's the king over it, you think if he created the sun, he's just gonna create the sun to destroy it? Because if he wanted to destroy it, he would have destroyed it back then with Noah. He would have just started anew. And he did through the Spirit, but he didn't destroy the earth itself, right? He remodeled. You know, when you got a house and it's a nice house, you don't be like, you know what, let me just destroy the house. No, you might tear some of the walls down on the inside and do some renovating. Tear the walls down and restructure. And that's what the Lord did. He renovated through the Spirit and cleaned it up, but he didn't destroy the house. But the people will have you believe that nonsense, man. But that's why you got to fear him. He's the Most High. He's terrible. All right, but he's a great king, man. Isaiah 45:12, it says, I have made the earth and created man upon it. So he's in control of all of that. So he creates the sun too. Even my hands have stretched out the heavens, and all their hosts have I commanded. So what are the hosts of heaven? The sun, the moon, the planets. He commands all of those. So he's not going to transgress his word. He's not going to disobey his word. So if he said the earth abideth forever, he's not going to out of one day just decide. And he says, I am the Lord, I change not. So he's not going to one day change his mind to say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and burn the earth up. He's not going to do that, you know? And I got really, let me see here. Right, this verse here, this is Jeremiah 31:35. This is a cut too. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. So Yahweh Bashem Shai is his name. Is Tazabawath, the Lord of hosts, the God of armies. Okay. So he said he's the one who gives the sun for a light by day. He's the one who gives the moon and the stars for a light by night. He's the one who makes the waves roar. All right. It says, if those ordinances depart from me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. So if those nations, he said, depart from me, meaning if the moon was to burst in half or the sun was to burn up, right? Or the sun, he said that's when the children of Israel will be no more. All right, but he's not going to have the sun burn up or the sun melt life or the sun burn the moon. He's not going to have all of that wild stuff they be coming up with. All right, he created all of these things, and you got to understand that the Lord is about balance and he's about perfect harmony. Okay. It says, thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the earth and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, said the Lord. So the Lord says, if they can determine how deep the ocean goes, if they can determine how high the sky goes or how deep in the earth they can dig, then that's when the Israelites are not going to be around. But the Israelites are the ones with the truth, starting with the elect, the men of great millstone, the apostles of great millstone on down. All right, we the ones who got the truth about the earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Right? So these people don't even know what they're talking about. They'll tell you, oh, this is what the earth's crust is and the hot magma in the center of the earth. They'll tell you all of this stuff, but they do not know. They're making a hypothesis. What's called a hypothesis is an educated guess. But these people like to make up lies. They aren't even educated guess. They make up lies to seem like they have the power. I forget what it's called, but it's like it's like some type of theory where people you seem like you have the control regardless if it's good or bad. It's just kind of like what happened with 9/11. So they'll say, no, the government isn't responsible So the people think, oh well, the people are on the side of the government because they're the victim. But then people also say, well, the government is responsible. So with that same notion, you're saying that the government is powerful enough to create such a heinous and wild crime to its own people. So therefore, it must be powerful and in control. So that's the mentality that they want the people to have, that either they're victims or that they have the power. But really, they're just the wicked, just been lying to you for generations and generations in time to come. And so the Lord is going to have to do away with them. The Lord is going to have to do away with the wickedness in this place because it just gets out of hand, man. All right, it gets out of hand with the lies. It says they are physicians of no value. All right, forgers of lies. Right, when you're a forger, so you got two types of forgers. You got a forger that creates, where they do create lies. So like that's like somebody who forges a weapon. If you forge a weapon, that means you created it. You put it through a lot of things and to be able to create it to something special, right? But they create lies, so they forgers of lies, and also forgery is when you copycat something that's not yours and you stole it. It's plagiarism, forgery. So they either way they are liars. They create the lies and they manipulate the lies and turn it into something else, right? Try to replicate what the Lord had and make it and just lie and twist it, man. All right, that's the wickedness of these people, man. All right, and Yahweh Shem Shah is going to destroy these people for that. Such as that's what I'm saying. That the Lord says the earth abideth forever. Really, the lesson could have been ended there, right? But it's Psalms 119 and 90. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. It abideth, man. The earth abideth. It ain't gonna go away. And that's what should make you happy. They be having these movies where people just disintegrating and slowly burning and life is gonna be over. Or they have these movies where they travel to different planets because life on Earth is not habitable. This is that's y'all. That is a lie, is nonsense, is filth, is meant to destroy you. Believe in the Bible and the Lord will guide your steps and teach you the way of life. Now the scriptures say don't seek not the things that are but our strength. So don't be trying to measure the deep or see how high the sun is and how close it is to the earth and getting measurements and all that. You ain't got to do all of that, man. But the point is that the earth is the Lord's and he's not about to destroy this wondrous creation. Right? Second Ezra, what's that? The 16th chapter. All right? It lets us know about, what's that? Second Ezra 6. Yeah, Second Ezra 6 and 56. You know that the earth was made it says the world was made for our sake. Our sakes. So the Lord made the earth for the Israelites. And that's the crazy thing. When people realize that the earth was literally made for the Israelites. If you make a gift and you say this is made for Brandon, that's Brandon's gift. If somebody opened that gift and they got Brandon's name on it, they're gonna be like, why did you open Brandon's gift? And that's what they're doing. They're opening Babylon, they're opening the earth and just destroying the gift. But at the end of the day, the Lord is going to replenish the gift. He's going to magnify it. He's going to make it greater than it ever has been and give it back to Brandon. And we're Brandon. It was made for the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. And the world is going to be in a complete mentality mess up when they realize it was made for us. It was made for us. It wasn't made for y'all because all they do is destroy it. Matter of fact, and I'll wrap it up with that verse. All they do is destroy the earth. All right. And they show that constantly. And so the Lord got to punish them. All right. The Lord got to punish them for destroying such a magnificent creation. Let me see here. Sheesh. So many good verses. This is Revelation 11 and 18. It says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth, man. So the Lord said he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth, which are all the heathen, but especially Esau, Edom. So the time is going to come where you're going to see that all of this is a lie, man. So the Lord said you got to destroy them. We the ones who fear in his name, and the Lord going to reward his prophets and his saints and his people. So, hey, I pray, Lord willing, that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, the Hashem Yahushai, Bahasham, Okakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect until next time. Actually, let me make sure real quick, y'all. Let me see if it was through. Let me see this real quick. Let me just check and see if it's more on this article. It says, let me see. Signs of these changes can already be felt too. Coronal mass ejections and solar storms have increased in intensity and are affecting the Earth's magnetic field. Now the Lord can be doing all these things, but I don't mean He's gonna destroy it. He's intensifying the heat in this place so you people can feel his wrath, but he ain't gonna destroy it. It says, and are affecting the Earth's magnetic field, and that's already reducing the oxygen content of the atmosphere, giving researchers insight into the longer-term effects. Human-induced climate change is also accelerating toward the end, with the world's steady rise in global temperature and the melting of polar ice. So, man, even when the Lord sent them missiles from every country to hit America, with all of that radiation and fire and heat, it's still not, that's human-induced climate change. It's still not going to destroy the earth. It's still not going to increase it to the point of burning. Babylon's going to be a mess, America, but it's not going to affect the earth to the point, nah, he going to fix all that. It says, no specific end date was given for human life. However, according to the researchers, it's quite possible that environmental conditions will become too difficult for humans much earlier than the billion-year time frame. You see that? It says potential solutions for the far future. The Israelites ruling the earth. It says life on earth won't suddenly end. It will fizzle out with a slow, irreversible decline. But despite the long time span, researchers are urging the importance of preparation and adaptation for humanity's future now. Hey, don't worry about that. The Israelites are going to fix all of that. Yahweh Shai is coming back. He's going to fix all of that. So you ain't got to worry about a billion years from now, man. The Lord is going to show us the way, man. You know, and all you heathen, and y'all need to worry about, being slaves for 1,000 years, man. That's y'all main concern right now. That's how y'all can, what was the wording that they used? Prepare for humanity's future now. But even after 1,000 years, the Edomites going to be gone and the world going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right, man. And all that climate change is mainly due to Esau's destruction anyway. Creating forest fires, creating pollution, right? All these factories blowing smoke and cars. We're going to have chariots in the kingdom. We ain't going to have all of this shit blowing out smoke and just polluting the air and the skies. And you ain't going to have that. The ozone layer ain't going to be getting destroyed and ripped. All of that's not going to happen after Yahweh Shai comes. That's what you got to understand the Bible. And you got to understand the Lord. All right, and he's coming with thousands of chariots, but there's no emission systems on them. Ain't no smoke coming out of it. Ain't even no pipes, man. You got the damn dual exhaust on your car. Ain't none of that on the chariot. But hey, man, I'm gonna wrap it up with that one. Lord, when it was edifying, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone to rule well, and peace and mercy to the elect. Until next time, shalom.